Wait, is my mic on? Okay, yeah, my mic's on. Okay, so hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So just to kind of fill everybody in, I did finish Xavier and Caleb offline. So the Lads Myth Chibis is officially done as a series. And um, I saw that they also released Caleb's next myth this evening, and congrats to all the baby sisters out there. Anyway, but Xavier and Caleb were completed offline. So we're going to be moving on to other sticker designs that I want to make for the May market. And I have quite a few fourth wing designs. I need to go grab my sketchbook because the main priority, right back. I forgot I needed my sketchbook because there is one more sticker design in here that I want to bring in. But anyway, the way I'm going to do this is I'm pretty much batching the process very similarly to how I tackled Xavier and Caleb. And what we're going to be doing, I already got a few started. And what we're going to be doing is pretty much just lining the drawings that I have in my sketchbook and bringing them into Clip Studio Paint. Right now, this is the first andarna that I have. Oh, that purple is a lot more vibrant on my phone screen. Okay, I digress. But this is the first andarna out of the fourth wing sticker designs that I want to work on. And this is kind of going off of the quote, "We do not eat our allies," and quirky little griffin feather in her mouth there. The one that we're going to be working on today is I want to do the void stairs back. And I'm going to have to make adjustments so that her little pattern here matches the one over here, because this was originally drawn in my sketchbook. There are elements that are pretty consistent between both of them, but her little side pieces here, or her side scales or little horns, those are slightly different. So I am going to make them more similar. So we're just going to go ahead and get started on this. I did decide to make her more of a chibi, and this is supposed to be adolescent Andarna, just for reference. And because given her proportions, I know that she could probably look like a baby dragon, but the intention here more is of her as a chibi, more so than a baby dragon. So not to mention the void stares back, and we do not eat our allies do not really become relevant in the story until she is an adolescent. So so yeah, that's part of the reason why we're going with a purple base for Andarna just to get started. Eventually, I might make a one to nod in her baby form, but for right now, these are meant to be adolescent Andarna. So let's just, I'll quit yapping and we'll just go ahead and get started. And I'm gonna begin with a sketch layer first before I do the official lining. So let me just get one layer set up with a ruler and we'll get started, because easiest way to get these done, especially for these forward facing designs, is just to set up a symmetry ruler and let that. Also, the other thing I wanted to say, no, the horns that I want to fix are the ones on the Devi Ghost, but I actually do want to make these thicker now that I'm looking at her other design, or now that I'm looking at this one. We'll see. I might make the adjustment. But for right now, we'll just go ahead and focus in on this Andarna because I already have her sketched out from my notebook. We'll just go ahead and just jump into things. I did not mean to set up that other ruler. My tour box is not on. That's the problem. Also, I'm pretty much working on configurations for my table display for the market. And there's one specific layout that I really like, but the more I look at it, like I tried shaking it and moving around because part of me is worried because there is one connector piece that doesn't really align the way I want it to, and for me it's a bit of a structure insecurity, because the connector only connects to the one on the bottom. So I had an idea to kind of set up like so the top left corner would be two grids up, and then you'd have one on the left, one in the front, and one on the left that would have been only one square in height, and then you'd have a portion pretty much just like as an open area, because I'm trying to figure out a way to get all my stuff to fit on the table, because I'm realizing that the Blowboos have fat asses. They have huge asses, and they pretty much take up a shelf made up of two grid spaces. And so because they are going to be a little bit more on the pricier side. So got a part of me feels frantic right now. I don't know why. Because one of my concerns at this point in time is, will all my stuff fit, especially with the Blowboos having like fat asses um and I'm bringing in the jackalopes. I'm bringing in the way I have it configured right now. I like it because it actually opens up the table to a lot more space. It's just for me, I'm kind of wary because of the fact that one of the connectors doesn't really connect the way it should. And you're kind of left with one corner from the upper layer that doesn't have part of the connector, or that doesn't have a connector. So like part of me is worried that it's gonna be like a structural issue, that it's gonna end up unstable. But I'm still playing around with configurations, so we'll see what that turns into. I thought there was somebody fighting outside, but I think somebody just has their TV on excessively loud. And the thing is, I don't think it's like any of the nearby houses. It might be like 3, 4 houses down. The other thing I think I might do is make the horns more rounded on the other andarna as well. And then this andarna. So I do kind of want to redo the horns a little, because the ones here are a little bit more kind of like chubby. So actually, let me do something really quick, because they are roughly around the same height or the same size. I'm going to go ahead and move this up here, and I will make these a little bigger to fit her head better. But I also I like the chubbiness from these horns a lot more than I do from here. So we'll change her horns. We'll change her horns on this side a little bit. Just gonna align it with this one. Then that way we'll just turn the ruler on and we'll fix that. But just gonna do that really quick because I prefer the horns on this one a lot more. Which, while I'm here, let me do something to make my life easier, because I do want these for May, and the sooner I get these done, the better. So if I can take a few shortcuts here and there, especially to help make them a little bit more consistent, I'll take them. Oh shoot, not the one. There we go. Do want to make that smaller. A little bit of free transform. Don't want to do that. Okay, there we go. Okie artichoke. Ooh, did I do? Yeah, I did do the sketch on the. Oh my god. Well, it's fine. I didn't mean to do the sketch on that layer, but it's nothing to get my panties in a twist. I also have not recorded anything for the vlog yet this week. Just not, oh, good news. I'm getting new glasses. That's one thing to celebrate. And my doctor's appointment. I'm gonna keep that around a little bit longer. And then this pretty much roughly follows. Back on. Showing all layers because we are going to move the sketch down to one of the other. Actually, there is one thing I'm wondering. I want her to have a neck. I don't think I like that. And I think part of it, aside from the coloration, that's going to kind of help to the fact that this is meant to be adolescent andarna, is the scorpion tail. I also feel like I could make her body a little bit more. I think part of it too, I need to kind of keep some of the proportions from my usual chibis. I don't think she needs to be as proportional. I also need to do a better job of putting up stream schedules. It's like that's another thing I need to do, but right now it's my attention is just on so many other things that it's like putting up the stream schedules has been turning into more of an afterthought. Okay, I think what I need to do, instead of drawing her out her arms, I need to draw out her body first. Because I do, like I said, I want her to be more chibi proportions to my standards. And I think I've explained this in the past that for me, my chibis tend to be big head, slimmer bodies. At least that's my preference when it comes to my art style. For some reason, for the life of me, I cannot do like chubbier chibis. It just does not feel right for when I do it. So I pretty much just stick with the large head, slimmer build where I can. I feel like her neck should be, because part of me like doesn't want to go too slim on the neck because she's a dragon, but at the same time it doesn't feel like right if I go too thick either. Am I gonna have to change the proportions on the other one too? Maybe, more than likely. I think I need a reference of a sitting dragon. I think that's what I need. Yeah, I need to bring the shoulders down a little bit more. And then her little haunches can come up a little higher here. Because the other thing too is her tail is going to come up from the front and then give her little scorpion tail. Yeah, this Andarna definitely needed a little bit more work than the other one. I feel like her body can also get a little smaller. Not the entire thing. What was I doing? No, do not save the transformation. I don't know. A part of me feels like very hyper right now. I think I will have to make her neck a little slimmer. And I get the feeling I'm going to have to make adjustments to this Andarna because this Andarna doesn't really follow that proportion. I think I'll leave this Andarna the way it is. And then we'll play around with the proportions on the body on this Andarna because part of me hates it and loves it at the same time. Okay. Let's go ahead and do another red sketch. I'm going to move this down here. Make this. No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I do want to do that. I want to bring this into my sketch layer. Bring this in here, and we'll turn off the ruler permanently on this one, and then we'll make this layer the my show no layers. I like having just one plain. I just like having one plain layer that has the symmetry ruler in it. Mainly just for I forgot her wings. Mainly because it just makes it easier to turn the ruler on and off as I need it. Okay. So that covers that Andarna. I kind of want to remove the ruler from here so we don't get confused. Okay, so we got that Andarna. Couldn't turn off the sketch layer. And one day I'll get my brain to cooperate. I feel like I should. Well, she's not a baby anymore, so I don't want to make her eyes too rounded. But I feel like that's too threatening at the same time. Reptiles don't have eyelids, or at least snakes don't. Snakes don't have eyelids, right? Where did I read that or hear that? I know it wasn't from some random TikTok video. I'm more than likely saw that on a TV show. Yeah, I'll move those closer together. It kind of trips me out that she doesn't have eyebrows because I don't draw animals very often. And the thing is, it's like what I'm realizing is that it's more of a brow bone, not necessarily an eyebrow, but the eye, like the brow bone is prominent. But the thing is about the brow bone follows the contour of the eye. Also, don't take what I say. I'm a self-taught artist. Most of the things I've come to know about art is from like observation. I need the skull. Well, okay, what I would love right now is a lizard skull. And then kind of a diagram that kind of shows how the muscle and skin layers on top of the skull. That's what I would love right now. Should I give it an eyebrow? Do I give her an eyebrow? Do like lizards don't have eyebrows? It's mainly just the contour of the brow bone, isn't it? I'm gonna find something very stupid right now, aren't I? They have what looks more like a nose bridge. Lizards have eyelids. I have a dragonology book. I just don't remember if I keep it hanging around or if I put it in storage. I need to go check my bookshelf really quick. I'm pretty sure I have it in storage. No, it's another. Nope. Another. If anything, yeah, it's more than likely in storage. I don't take it out that often. I really doubt it's going to be back here. What did I keep back here? We just die, I guess. I'll just do my best. Okie do that. You know what? We will give her an eyebrow. I don't think she needs one. I don't think it's accurate. I'm gonna look up something very stupid right now. Okay, yeah. Reptiles don't have eyebrows. That's mainly just the brow bone. I think Toothless is a good example of this, that it's just... Yeah, it's the brow bone. Okay, Andarna does not get eyebrows. Which, thank God, because this looks weird. I'll give her something that's supposed to resemble the ridge. And maybe even, like... Yeah, because it's supposed to be more of a ridge. I don't know what I'm saying, guys. I really don't know. I don't know reptile anatomy. I don't specialize in reptiles. Going to veterinary school was a dream of 10-year-old me who just loved watching growing up series on Animal Planet and like vet shows as a 10-year-old, then I don't know what happened. All I know is that I wanted to work with wildlife, and my mom was worried I was gonna get eaten by an alligator or contract rabies. Because I would have loved to work with bats. Not gonna lie. My parents were so overprotective and so scared for everything. Although I will say, contracting rabies does not sound like fun, especially when you remember people telling you like all the needles they're gonna stick in you just to help treat it, and I'm just like, I don't have a phobia to needles. I'm typically okay when I need to get my blood drawn. I'm not squeamish around needles, so but when the only time a needle has ever really hurt me was the one time I had to get an IV drip. That one I really felt. That hurt. But yeah, I'm not squeamish around needles. Actually, morbid fascination in watching people get their blood drawn. Um, I think it's a blessing I didn't end up in a medical field. Because at one point there was also the interest in becoming a physical therapist because I had to go to physical therapy for my knee. Um, that was a short-lived. That one was very short-lived. But yeah, at some point I wanted to become a vet, and I would have wanted to specialize in wild animals. Mainly because I watched all their shows on Animal Planet as a kid. I would have loved to work in a zoo. Sometimes I look at my job, and there are days that I'm just like, we're getting this much closer to me working at an owl sanctuary just because I can't take this job anymore. Gonna be a severe pay cut, but I'd much rather work with owls. My brain needed a minute to remember what it was supposed to be doing. Because a lot of my work tends to revolve around financial data. And don't ask me how a person who does not understand a lick of finance end up working finances. A younger version of me would be like still wondering how the fuck did we end up working data in anyway, because I always thought I was just going to be a code monkey. I feel like her legs are still too long. Like they're not really chibi enough for my liking. Oh, that's such a cute little baby dragon. Okay, charging cable's getting in the way. I want to get so much done in such a short amount of time, and then I'm like painfully reminded I am very much a human with so many limitations and such a bad sense of estimation for time. Yeah, I don't like that proportion for Andarna. Like her head is too big, her neck is too thick, her body's too slim. Yeah, we're not going. Oh, not the not the two I wanted to resize. Yeah, I don't want to. Okay, so body wise, we're not going too slim. We're not gonna sing. We are not gonna break out into a song. I think this part of her arm is too long. Her head is still too big. Okay. Um, not the tool I want to. Okay, her body doesn't sit well with me. I think this is kind of what makes the sketching process probably one of my favorite parts about drawing is that it allows me to be as messy as possible and experiment as much as I need to because for me this is the foundation. This is where you can play around as much as you want, testing out different aspects of the design until you settle on something that you want to move forward with. Hmm. Okay, no, no, no. Let me get another window open because I'm. So another issue with me is that I tend to work pretty zoomed into my canvas. So sometimes it's very easy for me to lose what the proportions actually look like as a whole. So that's part of the reason why if you can have a viewfinder open with the drawing in full, because for me it's just like it I just feel more comfortable drawing very zoomed in. But when you draw very zoomed in, you kind of end up you get so focused on the one area that you're working on that you forget the drawing as a whole. And when you work very zoomed in, it's very easy to lose sight of what the proportions as a whole look like. No one asked me what I'm doing right now because I have no idea what I'm doing either. But hey, if it works, it works. And I don't know why I'm connecting her wings to the breastbone, but in today's episode of Stupid Things Sky does because she has no idea what the fuck she's doing. But typically, that's how all my drawings come into fruition. I have no idea what I'm doing, but it's getting done. Okay, I think that works. That works. I try to convince myself. And I know this is kind of falling out of line with the other one. I think the other thing is too. I need to make her neck longer because I think the other one she has a longer neck. She has a slightly longer neck, which easy fix. We just move. Turn off the. Not what we need. Selected. Just gonna move this down a little bit more. Oh, that did a lot. That did a lot to help. Okay, okay. Apparently, my issue was with her neck. I still feel Like there's something, I feel like her body needs to be a little bit wider. It can't be too slim. Or I could make her head smaller. I can make her head smaller, but yeah, I think we'll make her head smaller. A little smaller. Okay, yeah, that helps a lot. Okay, yeah, that's good. I'm gonna do one more red sketch just to finalize everything, and then we'll hop over into lining her. Because if we could get just through pretty much to the same level as the other Andarna, just line plus flat colors, because I want to get what I do have at the very least colored in by this weekend. That way, all I have to do over the weekend is just render everything and then set up the files. And I think because I did place an order with Vogue Race over the weekend to get the Lads Boys into acrylic charms, and this is my second time ordering from Vogue Race, and like the first time I ordered, I like this again. This one is a me problem, so I kind of screwed up when I placed the order, and so they didn't the first round of Daya and Tokyo Revenger charms. Thankfully, it was only like what 6 designs, but yeah, I need to do better with advertisement. Like that's one of the things I get very frustrated with myself because like I know I need to sell stuff, but I am so terrible at marketing. Like I'm not the best at marketing. Advertising and marketing are like advertising, marketing, and social media, which are like the main things that you need in order to like promote your things, are like my weakest points when it comes to business. It's like I'm an artist. Why can't I just focus on the art? Let my art speak for itself. Like I don't know. Part of me feels like if I had started sooner, it would have been better. But I think one of the things that I also suffer from is one of okay, so Struthless. One of the art advices he received was that if you want to be discovered in social media, like you need to stay consistent with one thing and one thing only. And he has this entire video series on how he just decided to draw like this one thing, and then once you build your following on the one thing, you could begin to expand out. But the goal at the beginning is to just stay very consistent with one subject matter and stay consistent with that one subject matter. But it's just like I have so many different fandoms I want to draw for. I have so many OCs I want to draw for myself that it's just I don't know, it's like trying to stick to one thing like I know will ultimately help, but at the same time it's just like I don't know. Like I know that is something that would help greatly, but at the same time it's just like I have so many different merch ideas. I have so many different things I want to draw. And it's like and he even says it himself, it's just like I don't want to stick to one thing. That's boring, but sticking to the one thing can sometimes help. But yeah, I digress. But now that Caleb, oh, the topic jumps. But now that Caleb is out, I'm gonna okay because I do want to make chibi acrylic charms of the Catch 22 boys, and then I also want to do charms for this new set of myths as well. And now that Caleb's out, I can pretty much batch all 5 of them. And I wasn't planning to pull for Caleb. I was just gonna pass this one up completely, but god damn, Caleb looks great. Which is funny because like of all the things that I thought would have made me cabe for Caleb, I always thought it was gonna be X02 because I love sci-fi themes. I love mecha suits. But no, it's the very hot what is he wearing a tunic? Is that a tunic? Like what exactly is he wearing? I don't know what to call it. I'm not good with identifying different artifacts of clothing. But um does this look low key kind of like she's seeing right through your soul and she's about to eat you? Because that's kind of low key where I want this to go. Like I want Andarna to always look like she's about to eat someone. That is a very intense stare, my girl. But it like I want Andarna to look threatening. Yeah, she looks like she's gonna just jump out and eat you. I want that. Okay. Okay, she's looking good. Oh, I forgot to turn the ruler back on. Sometimes my low key fear because the market I'm gonna be going to is gonna be a local market. And low key fear, like one of my fears is literally any of my coworkers showing up to that market and then deciding they want to look into my social media and my YouTube and my everything. Because there's a reason I do faceless. Like low key fear. I don't want any of them perceiving me online. It's like there's a reason I don't share my socials with anyone who is a coworker. It's like y'all don't need to know this shit about me. And I'm the kind of person like I need some sort of boundary between my work life and my personal life because I've told this to a few people like my my personal life and my work life are not very compatible. Like my some of my personal interests are not very compatible with my. It's like I do not want to end up in HR at all. Kind of compatible. It's like if you're a coworker, like only perceive my shop and my Etsy and that's it. Like that's all I want you to perceive. Actually, I don't even want you perceiving my shop because I like I literally have Joseph's ass on my shop. And I do offer NSFW commissions as well. It's like there are certain things I don't want to know. It's like even just opening up to like people in general for me, like I will open up to you once I feel safe with you. But it's like for me, it's like trust is such I don't trust everyone out the gate. There are some people that I'll open up a little bit more with natural because I just feel that comfortable in their presence. And the headache is back. I want to do at least an hour on the stream, but if my headache comes back full force, I am going to have to quit for the night. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this during the vlog, but did get the headache checked out. I know I mentioned that much, but one of the things I noticed with my headache is that painkillers are not helping, or like painkillers do not help at all. So I didn't even really bother with getting a pain med prescribed because Advils don't help, ibuprofens don't help. Did have a coworker recommend I try out migraine medication, even though technically what I have isn't a migraine, but he said that pretty much they have a different set of ingredients for migraine medication. So I'm probably gonna have to look into that. Cold compresses, but for now, I'm just gonna behave like a dumbass and just power through. Thankfully, it's not really like all that strong right now. And this is like one of the things I recommend when you work with line is that you don't want lines to kind of like bleed into each other. But yeah, no, if but yeah, like for me, how did I jump around so many different topics in the span of like just a handful of minutes? Like, how did that happen? Undiagnosed but heavily peer reviewed. That's all I have to say for myself. And the thing about I don't want to focus on the legs too much because ultimately that will get covered by the tail. Things artists do to avoid drawing hands and feet. My answer is draw a giant tail obscuring everything. Once I remember what I'm supposed to be doing. Did I make a new layer? Okay. Yeah, new layer. I don't think I want the I think what I want for the tail, maybe if I scoop it upward. No, I kind of wanted to do this, go into this direction. Yeah, because I think I'm gonna have her tail drape over. And then because there's like it's that time of the summer, all the bugs are getting in, and I feel like there's always a bug crawling somewhere on me, and I hate it. There's gonna be like a little bit of her foot peeking out there. I think I'm gonna do scales along this side of her tail. She has a scorpion tail. Dragon tails, dragon tails. I don't remember the rest of the song. What is with all the topic jumps tonight? Brian, I need you to wrangle yourself in for once, please. Okay, let's go ahead and oh wait, that was a scale. I'm gonna just erase this portion down here because we don't really need that. I'm gonna go ahead and that. Those are value scales, so that's fine. Gonna begin working on her line art. I'm like, I haven't drawn out a full sketch of it, but I kind of want to do the my house, my chair, my woman with Zayden's throne. And God, like it's been months since I finished Fourth Wing, and God, like I still blush with it. Oh my, I love Zayden so much. I love Zayden. Akatar is another one that I really need to get to. Quicksilver, I feel I listened to the audiobook and like I'm a little meh on Quicksilver. I think I want to reread Quicksilver, but but with the physical book because I do have Quicksilver and Brimstone. 15 feels so okay. That's my eraser. That's why it feels so large. Okay, we're on the wrong layer. Shield of Sparrows. I haven't thought of any good sticker ideas for Shield of Sparrows. I know I want to do a sticker for I Heart Masked Men or I Love Masked Men. I still want a gas mask for no particular reason. Like okay, so there's always been this art series that I always wanted to do, and because like since high school, I've always loved the for some reason I love the combination of straight jackets and gas masks. Like I've always loved the combo, and I've actually drawn things with both, and I kind of want to do a series of like I want to do a series involving that but in an art style I haven't really used since high school because I know consistency is very important with art style and branding, but sometimes like I do enjoy experimenting with styles. So there is a series that I want to do, and kind of similar to my chibis, um, minus the giant heads, is that with this art style, it's more of just like going with very slim body proportions, like bone thin body proportions. Um, I want to do that. Like I that is definitely like one project for the future, in the future that I really want to do. But the thing is, it's like one of those things that like I don't know how it will be received because I draw a lot in anime art styles, and then all of a sudden you have something that's closer, like that's just a departure from that. But at the end of the day, like I just like playing with different art styles. Like I can like one thing that I definitely need to do is just like whip out my old sketchbook and like go over a lot of things that I used to enjoy drawing because I still draw every once in a while with that proportion in mind. And I just like playing around with my art. It's like I'm never gonna stick to just one thing because my opinion art is too versatile to just pigeonhole yourself. Like just do whatever you want to do with your art. It's like style and recognizability, yeah, that's important. But I also think that it's important as an artist to like if you want to take a break from that or from like a style you've been doing for a while, like there's no shame in breaking out and just playing around with different art styles. I think there's like I don't know, there part of me like kind of feels sad when people fixate on style, it's just like, don't worry so much about developing your style, just draw. Like, literally focus on learning and just emulate the people that whose art that you enjoy. And like, art style is something that's going to come with time organically. It's something that's going to come with experience and the more you keep drawing. Because one of the things that I will say about being self-taught, like, I regret not learning a lot of the foundational basics. But at the same time, there's something kind of liberating in being self-taught because you just have fun with it. You just do whatever you feel like doing. You just look at what somebody else is doing and you try your best to emulate it. Because like, that's pretty much how I learned how to draw art. Um, just observing what people do and the techniques they use, and then apply the things that I learned on my own art. Because if you look at some of like the artists that I used to love when I was in high school, like, yeah, anime was a huge influence, but I also enjoyed people like, or artists like Kamala Erico, who does a lot of like anime themed art. Leilani Joy, who does more of like, her art is still more on the stylized side, but it also is closer to more like, I don't want to say traditional, but um one of the ways that she describes her art is inspired by fashion and art nouveau. And I remember her entire brand was art nouveau, and I still love her. I don't keep track of her as much as I used to when I was in high school, but I loved her art and she was such a huge inspiration. Like, like, it's still a dream of mine to have one of her pieces hanging from my walls. Like, um her her fawn was one of my favorite art pieces when I was in high school. And not to mention, um, Pan's Labyrinth was one of my favorite movies in high school. Like, Pan's Labyrinth was one of my favorite, is still one of my favorite movies to this day. Which is funny because like my two favorite movies, like okay, so my top three is kind of funny because my top three involves Pan's Labyrinth, Pan's Labyrinth, Saving Private Ryan, and Suzume right now. Okay. Okay. There, something happened during this part of the sketch, and that looks so wrong. But yeah, one of the things about art style is like, you develop it over time. The more you expose yourself to other people's work, the more you like apply the things that you learn to your own artwork. And like, it's something that you just gotta let it evolve. It comes with time and practice, and with the more you learn, the more it's going to develop. And I don't think it should be a fixation on developing art style. I think follow the artists that you enjoy and the artists that you find inspiration with, and then let your art style speak, like, let your art style bloom into itself. Like, you're gonna get frustrated if you try forcing it out. um you're gonna get frustrated if you try forcing it out and turn that into your point of fixation. um I think prioritize learning different techniques, learn from different artists and what they do in their work. And like, because the thing to remember about what an art style is, it's just literally a culmination of all your experience, and it's a culmination of all your experience and the things that you learn shoved into one. So like, every artist has their unique style, but they've also drawn inspiration from other artists as well. So yeah, it kind of just makes me sad when I see a lot of newer artists turn developing a style their priority rather than just learn different techniques. Like, just learn your craft. Learn your craft and your style will come from there. Oh, I love her face. She looks like she's gonna eat you. I love my violet little dragon. There's an audio that somebody like there's an audio of the fun song, and it's like somebody sings it in a very high pitched cutesy voice. And I am in love with that rendition, and somebody keeps play or somebody like paired it with Andarna, and it's like the most perfect thing on the planet. And it's just like it's so fitting for Andarna too. F is for friend. So much to do, so little time. Once this market is over, like I know I mentioned this at some point that I do want to make my own tarot channel, and I also now want to do an like a voiceover channel. There's so many things I want to do with my life that I unfortunately need to work a 9 to 5 and rot there for the time being. Like so many things I'd much rather be doing. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but I finally plugged in my Yeti to practice some voice acting. It was so much fun. Like I want to see how far I can get on my own before I start looking into coaching, because it's one of those things for me. It's like I don't know if this is just going to be a for shits and giggles sort of thing, or if it's like maybe I could turn this into another viable career option. I don't know, but for right now, it's for shits and giggles. And I kind of want to do. I am going to butcher his name, but there's a guy. He does creepy pasta narrations. Why am I thinking of him? That's not the right person. Okay, but yeah, Jordan Persegati. I love his channel because he'll do horror art. And then there was a series that he used to do where he'd read creepy pasta. And he would do creepy pasta readings. And then in the background, you'd see him working on an art piece. And so, but that's not the person I was thinking about. I was thinking of the wrong person. But that's one possibility, is that I do readings and then put my drawing in the background while I'm doing the reading. Just like film a speed paint and then read part of the audio in the background. And so, because I really enjoy his style of doing that. The other option is to kind of, one of my favorite creepypasta readers is Dark Somnium. And I love his voice. It's just so soothing and so relaxing. And I appreciate that he's also brought in other voiceover actors into his projects as well. Like I really appreciate that. But I love his channel. I love his voice. I love when he does creepypasta readings. And part of me is also thinking like I could do that. I could also do like from some of the books that I have, do readings for those. I don't know. Just there's just so many things I want to do. Like when it comes into the creative space, it's like where will I find all the time for this? Like, and it's the more I think about it, it's just like I feel more at home when I'm doing like something more performance based. Yet somehow I ended up becoming an engineer. And then my mom reminds me that I could always just like pull, because she used to have a coworker who was, I forgot what kind of therapist was he. I think he was like either an occupational therapist or a, I forgot the kind of therapist that he was. But point is, he would be a therapist by day, and then he was also a professional actor, like TV actor. He was like A lot of his work, by the sounds of it, was more like telenovelas. So Andarna is a scorpion too. That's her as a feather tail. Yeah, it's gonna look more like a scorpion. Ooh, I like this rendition. Somebody. Ooh, wait, a shelf set? Ooh, you're still in stock. Oh, that is such a pretty Andarna. And is that entire dress lace? Sorry, it's Andarna and Violet. And Violet one is hot and gorgeous. Andarna is beautiful. I low-key kind of want it. It says it's a pre-order. They're acrylic shelfies. Oh, there's one of Zayden's again. Oh, there's one of Liam and Day. I got distracted. I got dangerously distracted by my retail therapy. Wait, do you have things divided by series? I want to see what you have for fourth thing. Ooh. Oh, officially licensed. And you guys can't see what I'm doing on screen. Anyway, back on task. Oh, somebody save me from myself. Okay. I want to get to drawing tonight, but I don't know if we'll get to drawing tonight. Or I'm a dumbass. We are drawing. I want to get to coloring tonight, but I don't know if we'll get to coloring. Oh wow, I really went. You guys get a little bit of her feet. Also, in exciting news, Akatar is coming out with what, books 6 and 7. So the funny thing is, Akatar is like what sold me onto audiobooks, but I didn't realize that the version on Spotify was only partial. So I had a friend accidentally give me a spoiler for the second book and the end of the first book that I didn't realize because I'm stupid. No, but I didn't realize it was only part one of the story. So yeah, she accidentally gave me a spoiler for the story, and I don't fault her for it at all. Like I didn't get mad at her or anything, because she honestly didn't know. We both didn't know, and I'm the kind of person, like, I personally don't mind spoilers. Like if I will mind a spoiler, I will let you know. But aside from that, like I usually don't mind spoilers. She looks like she's gonna eat you. Oh geez, what happened there? But yeah, I want to get to coloring tonight, but I don't think we will. I could try and push it. Headache didn't try and settle in. It tried to come. Something's so wrong. It tried to say hi, but it kind of went away as quickly as it came. I should be using the ruler for this, but so far it's coming out pretty okay, so we won't do the ruler. I want to move out of the small town. There's so many things I want to do. I'd much rather live in the East Coast because all the states are all smushed together. So it's like, ooh, that's a nice breeze. It's been heating up and I hate it. And that's Andarna. Andarna Urum. I forgot her tail scales, which I have no idea how I'm going to draw them in. Okay. Does she have tail scales? Oh, she's so cute. Oh, I do what I always draw. You know what? I always forget to do the minus AI thing. Oh, she's so cute. Oh, I love that art style. Yeah, I feel like her shoulders should be going down lower. Okay, no comparison traps, no comparison traps, no comparison traps. But I really love this. I love this design for her, actually. It's like a salamander head. Focus! Okay. I'm not going to do tail scales because I don't want to. I don't feel like it. Are they tail scales? Do dragons have tail scales? No, she doesn't. I kind of like the design of her having a, what's it, perforated? I guess she does have. Eh. I was about to scream oh shit because I thought like, am I recording? It's like, no, you're streaming, dumbass. Like, because sometimes I like attaching these as speed paints for the vlogs, but I think I'll continue keeping the vlog. Also, I did try doing a speed paint, because if you watch some of my previous videos in the winter, it's much easier because I have a sweater. But I'm gonna have to figure out a new filming angle for the summer because I like you guys watching me like forward facing with a sweater on, like that's not a big deal. But now that it's too warm for that, I'm gonna have to pull on. I'm gonna have to find better drawing angles. Because I just like I was reviewing one of the clips from the vlogs and that was just a very uncomfortable angle. Is it ever confirmed like what color Andarna's eyes are? Like what color are Andarna's eyes? Okay. Didn't make any contact. Right now we're pretty much just blocking in the base colors, and because she's the size that she is, I'm going to go ahead and just try to get the coloring done in tonight, even though I need to get ready for bed ASAP. Oh, wait a minute. This is the void stairs back, so her background's also going to be black. Her lining is going to be white. We'll draw in her flats and then we'll adjust colors from there. What color did I make her horns? I'm gonna, okay, somebody remind me I need to fix that. I actually feel like I should be copying and pasting these horns and putting them into the other one. Why? Oh my gosh, I hate the summer because the bugs come out and they start acting annoying. It's like it's not even like a fear of bugs, it's just like they annoy me so much. Like, can you please not fly in my space? I turn the ruler on and it'll make coloring it a lot faster. Work smarter, not harder, children. I feel like making her scorpion tail the same color as her horns. Because part of me feels like it would be like keratin, like the same material that makes up your fingernails and like hooves. Work smarter, not harder, and I accidentally make. I forgot about that. Okay. What color did I make her little? Did I make it? Yeah, I did. I did. That was good. That was a good little puppet. Ugh, now I want a gas mask. I think that's also partially the reason I like love Malachi because of all the dark romance boyfriends that I've read so far. He's the one that brings in the gas mask. Also, I just love Malachi's energy. I love Malachi. I'm gonna turn off the ruler for. I really want to make the Malachi PC stickers, but because the market coming up is fantasy themed, that's gonna have to wait for a later date. And yes, I plan to make a sticker involving the screwdriver. I also need to get to reading Butcher and Blackbird and Lights Out. I saw like I have Lights Out in my collection. I don't have Butcher and Blackbird. But based off of how like people describe it, I think the humor in those are gonna be up my alley. This is gonna be the front part of the wing. I feel like there should be some webbing. We'll figure out her wing logistics later. Although I know that's if I say that now, it's gonna lead to some rework that I'm gonna hate. Part of me is also low-key kind of rushing these sticker designs because I want to get them ordered. Jesus Christ. Stupid fly. I do want to get them ordered before the end of May, so that way, like, I think April can become a time where I just go back to focusing in on amigurumi again. Because with these ordered, like, I can rest a little bit more easy because at that point it's just a manufacturer take care of it kind of situation. So all I have to do is wait. Okay, turn off the ruler before I do something stupid. And I think part of me feels like I can maybe slow down on the amigurumi a little bit and then rush amigurumi in April. But there's also larger pieces that I don't want to wait till April to work on because then that's the only thing I'm going to be working on. Because like pieces like Nessie, those get dedicated time. The other thing I also need to look back into the book is because I think I made her belly here. I think we're gonna swap this out for a purple. Yeah, we're gonna swap out the belly for a purple, just to keep everything within the same color family. Because I think with like adolescent Andarna, it'll help to keep things in a monotone color palette. Because I even think like her as a feather tail was pretty monotone in design. Okie dokie. We'll do a light. Oh, I just realized something. Violet and Darna's favorite shade is like a dark purple. They're both part of the purple family. I just realized that. Do like just a lighter purple. And it's one of those things that I'll render this and then I'll add additional layers to help with kind of making it look like she's kind of hiding in a set of shadows. I might even like literally just bleed out the color from her body onto the background and then make her outline white. My phone really saturates colors. Like, I'm looking at my phone right now, and what seems to me like a pretty dull color combination is just very exaggerated. And I also need to glaze something so I can have Xavier and Caleb ready to post tomorrow. I'm only gonna post one at a time. I think I'm gonna post Caleb first, like technically speaking. It's his third myth that just released, but in honor of the third myth, I'll release a chibi, even though it's X02 and not the new one. But I need to, those are going to be the next sticker. Those are going to be the next ones I'm going to hop onto. And again, it's going to turn into a batch process. So that way, like, I'm releasing them one after the other. Then maybe I can have them a little bit more uniform this time. And the void stares back. Alrighty. Okay, so it's getting late, and this is pretty much where I wanted to get this one to this evening. So I'm going to go ahead and call the stream. I'm going to go ahead and call the stream for the evening. So thank you for joining me on this Let's Draw. So next stream, I'm trying to keep consistent with a Tuesday at 9 p.m. I just need to start putting it onto an actual stream schedule so that people know ahead of time. I also want to add one more stream date sometime along during the week, but I don't know if that's going to be a weekend stream or another weekday stream. I don't want to do it Friday because sometimes Fridays are chore days, more like consistently as a chore day. And yeah, maybe not Friday. Thursday is sometimes a chore day. I don't want to do it back to back Tuesday, Wednesday, because I do want a day where I can just work on other stuff. It's more than likely gonna have to be a weekend stream, but Saturday is also another one that can easily kind of hit the fan pretty quickly. I think Sunday will be the safest day to stream that I know for sure for a fact it's gonna be a free day. Maybe even Monday, but again, it's the back-to-back issue. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream right here before I start talking on another tangent. So thank you everyone for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good night.